When we download a free app or use a search engine, we operate under a widespread assumption. We believe we are making a simple, relatively harmless barter. We trade our personal information for the convenience of digital services without paying a monetary fee. But the infrastructure powering the modern internet operates on a very different logic. Building and maintaining software requires immense capital. To survive offering services for free, tech platforms had to locate a new revenue source, and they found it by treating human behavior as currency. Every interaction leaves a trace. Platforms track your location, your browsing habits, the exact number of seconds you dwell on a specific post, and even the spelling errors in your search queries. For years, this was considered digital waste, what engineers called data exhaust. This document notes the defining moment for Google was realizing data exhaust was not waste, but a valuable commodity. Gathered in massive quantities, these traces indicate user moods. The waste was repurposed into a behavioral surplus, a zero-cost asset diverted into a lucrative market exchange. These individual data points, the dwell times and spelling errors, are the fragments of your life being harvested. By gathering them without a price tag, tech firms have effectively converted the totality of human experience into a free raw material for their factories. That raw material is actively monetized through a system called real-time bidding, or RTB. This is the mechanical engine that turns your behavioral surplus into actual cash. The moment a page loads, an automated auction takes place. Technology platforms broadcast your categorized profile, interests, purchase intent, and location to thousands of advertisers. They place bids simultaneously, and the highest payer instantly secures the right to place their ad in front of you. Because this happens billions of times a day across millions of websites, it creates staggering financial leverage for the platforms hosting the auctions. Their entire valuation is predicated on access to your profile. We saw a real-world stress test of this financial architecture in April 2021 when Apple introduced its App Tracking Transparency Framework. The update required apps to ask for explicit user consent before tracking them across other applications. Given the choice, the vast majority of users opted out. In this 2023 economic analysis, Apple's update reduced trackable traffic by 70%. Knowing this, we have to ask why tech monopolies aggressively expand their surveillance reach, pushing into every corner of daily life, rather than simply maintaining the profitable data collection levels they already have. It is because data serves a secondary, equally vital corporate function. It reduces business risk. By using large volumes of user information, firms resolve uncertainty in their predictions about market demand, supply logistics, and consumer behavior. This diagram illustrates the precise mechanic driving this expansion, the data feedback loop. First, user data is analyzed to improve product efficiency and train algorithms. Second, this higher efficiency creates a better matched service, attracting more customers and generating more transactions. In the final phase, those new transactions yield an exponentially larger, richer dataset. The firm feeds this back into the system, and the cycle restarts with even greater momentum. This compounding cycle transforms data into an aggressive engine designed to guarantee corporate growth. To understand the sheer value of this loop, look at market giants like Amazon or Uber. Both companies famously operated at massive financial losses for years, prioritizing the accumulation of user transactions and data assets over immediate profit. This chart tracks the cumulative value of data for firms doing financial analysis. It shows a rapid, consistent upward trajectory. Data functions as a highly valuable intangible asset that appreciates over time, scaling up as machine learning tools become more sophisticated. Possessing that sheer volume of historical and real-time information creates an insurmountable competitive advantage. It acts as a monopoly moat, securing dominant market positions by making predictions that smaller companies simply cannot match. This exerts a heavy chilling effect on new businesses. Trying to enter the market using a traditional, non-tracking business model is nearly impossible when your competitors are leveraging a decade of behavioral insights to optimize their costs and target their buyers. The modern market actively penalizes companies that refuse to participate in behavioral profiling. Without data to barter, a firm cannot scale efficiently. Surveillance is no longer a feature of big tech. It is a mandatory survival tactic for any business operating in modern capitalism. This specific paper, reviewing Shoshana Zuboff's foundational work, notes that scholars now classify this new economic order as surveillance capitalism, and the system has evolved. The financial architecture that started by passively monitoring our actions is now equipped to actively intervene in them. The mechanism for this intervention relies on digital nudges. These are subtle psychological triggers embedded in smart devices and algorithmic feeds, designed to guarantee specific commercial outcomes. The literature explicitly identifies this as the basis for a new science of large-scale human behavior modification. Historically, behavioral nudges were deployed by governments in public policy. Now they are completely privatized. Surveillance capitalists run mass social experiments daily, deploying varied control and treatment groups online to test which interface tweaks alter human behavior most effectively, entirely without user consent. For these behavioral interventions to work, the participant must remain in the dark. If users are aware they are being commercially manipulated, they will naturally resist it. Human consciousness itself is viewed as a threat to surveillance revenues. The overarching goal of technology platforms has shifted toward the active, invisible shaping of human choices at a massive scale. This explains why data collection has rapidly moved off your computer screen and into the physical world. Smart home assistants, fitness wearables, and autonomous vehicles are all vectors for physical data extraction. By recording voice tones, sleep patterns, and daily transit routes, these real-world sensors capture our moment-to-moment moods and physical actions in profound detail. As noted by researchers, this physical expansion acts as a digital trespass, capturing the geographical parameters of everyday life. Google rendered the Earth, its streets, and its dwelling places, bypassing our consent and defying our protests. All of this rendered data is fed into the ultimate financial product, behavioral futures markets. Just like betting on the future price of oil or wheat, advertisers and corporations are reliably betting on and purchasing our future actions. This state of digital infrastructure represents a deliberately engineered architecture, built precisely for this purpose. We have normalized a system that strips human experience for parts. We built a machine that dictates the future of human behavior.